Yes, 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 right on time. So I was just watering the plants, getting things ready, and look at the clock, noon on the dot. Talk about synchronicities and meant to be. Yes. All right, so I actually am full of good news today. Another good thing is that part of my block on Instagram was lifted. I was finally able to go live on there for the first time in over a month. I am still shadow banned though. That means that I can't always see your comments, let alone respond to them. They just don't show up for me on my end, except for in a specific way, and it's only some of them. It's really weird. Yeah, I really don't understand it. And then another thing was the lives, which that one was lifted. Pretty much like, uh, yeah, they go after my content, the specific hashtags, and then remove certain features, it seems, if I'm going against their guidelines too much. It makes this really difficult as a creator to keep putting out content because instead of putting out a bunch of new content consistently, I have to keep putting out the same content until it stays, until I find the specific way that they allow it to stay on Instagram without it being pulled down and again having the shadow ban thing go on. But it was good news. I got to go live for the first time in a month. That made me feel, pretty happy. It's weird though, because in a sense, it's like if anybody else, like if any physical person was causing me drama in my life, making my job more difficult, I would cut them off. I would cut them off like I cut off dead parts of a plant. I would do that without a second thought. But then when it comes to Instagram being a techopoly, we'll say, even though I don't believe in it per se, especially since Facebook took it over, I do believe in the people that are on there. There's a lot of you guys on there. Many of my friends that I've met, many of the connections I've met, the collaborators that, I've joined forces with over the years, all come from this one single platform, a platform that I invested my time and money and everything to learn and to understand and to be able to connect with people. A lot of people that end up working with me, they're saying, it's like telepathy, connected us. It was through telepathy. And it's like, in a sense, it is, it's like this magical intent that I put out there and that I train my team to go out there and to use. And, yeah, and it takes time to build that, to start using it as business media, as like the spiritual media over scrolling and mindlessly using it. I never went into it with those kinds of intentions, and of course I left Facebook last year after being banned and blocked on them, being censored for many years. It started out with natural alternatives to deodorant, actually, out of all things, and then it got worse when COVID started, because I was talking about natural alternatives to big pharma. I was talking about the immune system, building a healthy immune system. I was talking about psychedelics for mental health, and they just really did not like that. So it was one thing after the other. So yeah, done with that one now. Soon will be Instagram. But for now, we are going to keep it. And I was, very happy that I had the opportunity to go live, that so many of you guys joined me for that, just sending out a collective blessing. It felt really good. And that's another really new and good going on, is that this trucker convoy is like in the millions now. It's happening globally around the world. More truckers are standing up in Australia. They're organizing a convoy. In the UK, they're organizing a convoy. In the US, all these places. And, I'm really proud to be a Canadian today. I love travel. I love going to third world countries specifically. I just love the energy there. It's never as they portrayed it in the media. At least that was my experience. There's a lot of happiness, a lot of parties, a lot of not parties like how we have in North America. It was like parties in the street with dancing and this different vibe, and I always loved it. And I was wondering, why am I here in Canada, in Ontario? And since the convoy started, I really understood why it is that I am out here. And I did some some dancing in the streets and joined forces with a protest yesterday. Just, I didn't talk about my business at all. I didn't talk about really anything. I just danced and I just felt the energy, and I, raged out with my sister. It was amazing. It was so great. And and yeah, and I want to give like a shout out to everybody that's out there, going to their own protests, starting protests, to anybody who, is peaceful in this process. For everyone who is out in Ottawa right now, turning a ripple effect into a wave, into a tsunami. Like, it is incredible what is going on there. And the media just is not sharing it. There's so much coverage, though. We are the new media. Us, individuals, we are the new media. Goodbye Fox, goodbye CNN, goodbye CBC. We don't need you anymore. We are the people, and we're proud, and we care so much about our freedoms. We care more about our freedoms now than ever before. We care more about our mental health now than ever before. We care about coming together in unity in spite of, whatever your status is, whatever your color is. We care about just being together. And it's just so powerful and such an amazing energy. It's great for anybody who really did feel like we are the minority over the majority. And, now the truth is coming out, just like what Buddha said. Three things cannot for long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And this is our truth. Our truth is that we're free as long as we make the decision. So if you're in support of the truckers, this is an amazing thing. If you're in support of freedom lovers, this is an amazing thing. And it goes beyond that. It goes to your own freedoms, to what it is that you're doing in your own life. What are the daily actions you're taking every day to be free, to feel free, to get 1% closer to freedom and love every single day? And so I'm going to put that out to you guys, anybody in the collective today. What is that one thing every day that you're doing to get closer to freedom, get closer to love? So let me know in the comments. You can email me. You can, send that in our Signal group, which is available to you guys. I'll be sure to link it below for anybody who's who's not in that already and wants to be a part of that. It's a 24/7, community support group that we have. We actually have two of them on a decentralized platform called Signal. One of them is our family group, full of just people who are healing themselves, and they get the support and the accountability and the inspiration to continue going. And then also we have our network for anybody who's a mycologist or working in the space as a coach, or as a healer, or working with the medicines in a specific way. So two really amazing communities that we're hosting for free. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me, ashley@elementalgrowth.org, and I'll figure that out with you, what's best for you, and help set you up in that way. Okay. I'm going to light a candle here, and we will go into our meditation. After that, I brought some props with me today, and I'm going to show you guys some natural alternatives. Some of the stuff that got me kicked off of Facebook years ago, started with that censorship thing. And I'm going to show you, what you can do in your own life. I've been working with and getting on calls with a lot of people who are ready to get off of big pharma, which is great. That's what my whole business is about. But not everybody can afford to, a coach at right now, and not everybody can afford, to go out and buy supplements and things, and that's not what I'm about anyway. I'm not about the supplement or the Band-Aid solutions. I'm all about, being sustainable in your own life, about taking your power back, right? So I'm going to teach you how to take responsibility in your own life so that you can not only get off of big pharma, but stay off, no matter, again, what you have access to, no matter what, no matter what. Like, just just simplify it. Go on. All right. So this is a good start too. This is called an arc lighter. So if you want to get away from the butane, you are smoking anything, or just like lighting candles, whatever, this is a great alternative. Arc. This is like a total Tesla thing, right? You see that? Ooh, I don't even know if you can see it. It might be fast, but I'm gonna light the candle here. And we will start with a quick little meditation. Turn that off. Right. Cross my legs into Buddha position. You're welcome to join me on that, or whatever just feels comfortable for you. So you close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. No editing, just whatever feels natural for you. Just observe. You know, check in with your breath. Are you breathing through your nose, breathing through your mouth? Are you breathing heavy and deep or softly and shallow? I like to take the big breaths when I'm tuning into myself. I really like to take those big breaths, inhale and rise, exhale, release what's real deep in there, get it out. Okay, so let's try a few of those big deep breaths, you guys. There's this thing that LL Cool J said before, and that was that he doesn't even need to work out. All he does is just work with his breath and tense his abs with breath. I don't know if any of you guys were like me in high school, but LL Cool J was like the hot rapper guy. So yeah, let's like tap into that. And one more here. All right. Now that we've opened up some new space within ourselves, I want to invite you guys to fill that space with some positivity. Fill that space, you know, not with what the media or YouTube's telling you to watch, not with what your family's telling you what to do, not with, what your kids expect from you or what your spouse expects from you. Fill this space that you've just opened up with what you want, with you. Fill it up with you, the real you. Fill it up. Allow that inner voice to be a loud voice, okay? What do you want to manifest in this world? What do you love? How do you love spending your time? What would you love to manifest? If you had $10 million coming into you every single week, every single month, every single year, if money was not an option, or like an obstacle, if other people's opinions didn't matter, what would you want for yourself? How would you be spending your days? Take some time. We can even open up our third eye here. I like to really massage it, bring my hands into prayer pose, connecting the masculine, the feminine, the positive and the negative. And I just, circle on my third eye, rub it, tap it. Wake up. I like to visualize when my two eyes are closed, I like to open up that third eye, right? And so in opening up my third eye, I like to visualize, like as if it's a TV screen or, a projector screen even. So that it's like as big as you can get. And I pull that down and I project onto that screen or into my third eye that which I want to create. So I get that full vision, okay? So I invite you guys to do this now. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see? Take a few deep breaths here. Try to feel that in your heart as best as you can, okay? What do you feel while you're in this place doing these things with these wonderful people? Once you have that feeling, you can open your eyes back up and Once you're back, you can move on into this. Some ways that you can manifest that health, that happiness, that legacy, the wealth, whatever it is that you want. Let's take some actionable steps to get you to where you need to be. Now, with the trucker convoy, I know some people are scared right now. They're scared that maybe the shelves are going to empty, that perhaps they won't be able to get what they need, that perhaps gas stations will close, or perhaps prices will go too high, or that their businesses will close, or you know, perhaps these negatives are going to come in. And I want to invite you to, of course, pray for the best. Pray for the best. Pray that only good is coming. Pray that only good, only better is ahead of you. Pray for all those who do suffer to have good, to grow through what they're going through. Pray for only the best for yourself and your family to grow. Okay? In this, in saying this, I know, much like what Mike Tyson said, a plan is great until I punch you in the face. This is what life does. We can plan all we want, but we never know what the outcome's going to be, right? And this is part of the collective anxiety. So let's release all that. Let's prepare today. We'll prepare for the worst and pray for the best. All right. So I'm going to move this candle aside. I do love this new sparkly candle. Oh, I'm going to move it to the side though. Maybe I'll leave it there so you guys can still see it a little bit. Very nice, meditative. I'm going to start with some alternatives here that I want to just bring up. Number one is I am doing tea today. I'm going to take this out. When I used to sell teas, I would sell these silicone strainers with them. They're great. I don't have them anymore. This is actually the only one I kept because it's red, Finn's favorite color, and he's letting me borrow it today. I usually use a French press for tea or coffees. But today I've got a Tulsi tea. And Tulsi tea, when I was in nutrition school, they taught us was great for stress, for regulating blood sugar, and for hormone health, right? Like really important for hormone health. Um, Tulsi tea is also known as holy basil, and it's an adaptogen. What that means is that it works with your body to adapt, almost like how kale in the brassica family will adapt to whatever weather that comes up. It will adapt. It will thrive. Kale actually gets sweeter the colder that it gets. So it is a great adaptogen. There are many adaptogens out there available to us, ones that you can grow, ones that you can purchase. I encourage you guys to do that research yourself. I don't want you to just listen to what I say. My goal is always that you take what I say and you research what resonates for yourself. Because anything that I say is just hearsay. That's all it is. It's my opinion. Yeah, I do have experience. Yeah, I do have certificates. Yeah, I do have other scientists and doctors that will back up a lot of what I say. There's a lot of resources out there that will back up what I say. But until you actually put the intention into doing this work for yourself, it's not going to matter as much, right? So my goal here is to encourage you guys to do that research for yourself. And so Tulsi tea, a great adaptogen. Adaptogens are something that you do want in your diet every single day. Find one, two, three that really resonate with you. Mushrooms are, of course, one that resonates with me. This Tulsi tea, we've got many herbs in our apothecary that we work with, and we switch it up. We really like the diversity. Maybe that's part of me being a Canadian too, is that diversity is always so important to me. It's important for gut health. It's important in the garden. It's important when it comes to building connections with people as well. It's also important for when you're gathering data and information, right? But it doesn't end there. It doesn't Information is not as powerful as transformation, right? So, and there's a gap between collecting information and turning into transformation. This is another reason why working with a coach is so important, right? Is that they bridge that gap. Working with different professionals, accountability partners, they'll all help bridge this gap from information to transformation. Really big goal. So uh, talked on some herbs and adaptogens. I'm actually going to move that one to the side. I'll keep my tea closer. It is yummy. I don't even put anything in Tulsi tea. When I'm drinking Tulsi tea, it's just Tulsi tea. And you can make extracts. If you guys like David Avocado Wolf, he sells an amazing Tulsi tea extract, but you can make it as tea like me. You can turn it into a tincture like him. Regardless, working with it is great and it tastes amazing. It's crazy sweet and you don't need, I wouldn't say it's crazy sweet. It's not the sweetest, but it is it's sweet on its own. You don't have to add anything to it. If you want to add in some extra bitters to it, some things like ashwagandha or burdock or St. John's wort that can be bitter at times. If you mix that with the Tulsi tea, it takes away that bitterness and then you get the benefits of both. So some really cool blends you can do there too. That's why I like mixing my the bitters with things like Tulsi, which is a sweeter one, with honeybush, which is sweeter, and also with mint, which even though it's not sweet, it's got a very strong flavor that doesn't need any additives to it. So again, it's a great one to mix when you're doing those herbal blends. Okay. I also know that when I was in nutrition school, I realized how many people have a magnesium deficiency, especially women, right? This is one of the reasons why when I'm working with women in hormone health, a big thing is a chocolate craving that comes up. Of course, go work with cacao as a whole plant if you can, or work with the cocoa nibs or the cocoa paste or the cocoa butter, something that's of a raw, natural form. Cocoa butter and cacao powder mixed together is what the cocoa paste is. And cocoa paste and cocoa nibs, they are the more natural occurring forms, though when you separate them, you end up with a cacao butter, which again is great to work with, or a cacao powder, which again is great to work with, but the cacao paste, that's what's used in ceremony. Really good stuff. Another thing you can do for magnesium deficiency is work with Epsom salts or magnesium sulfite, right? So I use this company Foods. I order from them every month. I order a bulk supply of things, and these salts are one of them. You may not always have time if you're like me and you're busy on your business and you're busy, with the kids and with partner and with just other daily things and passions and ways that you enjoy spending your time, let alone all the things that are scheduled in, like yoga and self-care and kids and business. You don't always have time for that bath, especially not every day. Sometimes you can't even get a shower in every day. But when you do get a chance for a shower, even if you don't have the time to sit in the bath, what you do is you take this and you mix it in with the shower water. You let it dissolve, and then after you get out of the shower, you pour the infused water over your body, and then your skin absorbs it in, and then you let yourself air dry instead of towel dry. That way the magnesium really gets into your body without having to go buy an expensive supplement, because Epsom salts are definitely a lot cheaper. This is a really good quality, and I still get it really inexpensively. So this was a full pound. I think I paid $2.50 for it. So really good. I get the big bags of them too. Though this time I didn't. I was bulking up 2 houses at the time, so I bought the smaller quantities so that they stayed air fresh. But normally I would go for the bigger ones. But this was okay for here. I'm gonna get into some skin alternatives here. I know for women, right? Like we have perfumes and things like that. A lot of the women in my life, they really don't like the smells, or they have husbands and partners that can't handle the smells, allergic to it. So a lot of the people in my own life are already into essential oils. Though for anybody who's still going out and buying those perfumes, it takes down your air quality in your home. Any air fresheners takes down your air quality in your home. Uh, like laundry detergents, detergents, the dryer sheets, like all of these things are really bad for your air quality in your home. Yeah, you can have plants in there. A good amount of plants are going to be like 13 plus to have in your home to just keep purifying. And of course, opening up a window in summer, spring, fall, it's really easy to do that. In winter, it's harder, but I still encourage you to do it from time to time, just to, open up your air quality. Very important stuff. Though I also want to share with you some secrets that we do. One of them is that I do make my own perfumes, if that's the case. I don't do it so often anymore, but when I was transitioning, I did do it a lot. And so for that, you get a good quality uh, alcohol, or you can do witch hazel, different things like that. You add a little bit of oil, you add in essential oils. I really like, my favorite blend is of lavender and vanilla, mixing those two together with the alcohol and some like almond oil and something so that it sticks. It's not just water. You can mix water in with it too to make a more of a body spray instead of a condensed perfume. But really cool stuff. Another alternative is this. This is called Pure Instinct, and this is female pheromones. So what this does, it's like an essential oil rolly stick, and you can just, put it on wherever you want, on your wrists. It's pretty great. What it does, it takes out your natural scent, right? And that is amazing. If you're trying to attract a partner, this is the miracle. This is what you want, okay? If you're, want to have a good night with your husband, this is what's going to turn him on. This is the good stuff. This is female pheromones. It takes out your natural female scent, and every woman's going to smell a little different. And this is might sound scary, but trust me, it's not. It is empowering to know what you actually smell like. And I love bringing this out just with my girlfriends and, seeing, what are the different scents. For me, I often smell like fruity or like juicy fruit, different things like that. Sometimes it's like more floral. Sometimes it's more natural. Sometimes I don't even want to say musk. Musk reminds me of a man, but it's like this earth. It's just, it smells really good. So this is not anything to be scared of. This is empowering, okay? To know what you actually smell like and to know that attracts mate to you. Amazing. Okay, so this is my secret weapon. And I do love the pheromones, obviously. Like, I don't use it every day. I've had this for a long time, but obviously I've put it to good use, okay? Um, Another one is these natural perfumes. And I like this one too. It came in a really cute container. Me and my girlfriend, Kate, we went shopping for these and the pheromones actually. So two things with one of my girlfriends that we get really into is the perfumes here. And so this is again, one that I use quite often. And this is a cream type of perfume. It smells earthy. It's all done with essential oils and beeswax. So really cool. And I love the container. It can be reused. And yeah, I think it's made out of crystal or stone or something. Really cool anyway. Now, another one that comes up often is lip balms, and we do this at our maker parties. Me and my girlfriends get together like every 3 months and we do different things. So this one, made out of cocoa butter, but sometimes we do them with shea butter. We do put different oils in it. We try different scents. Sometimes we put stevia in it with different scents to make it like a sweet, like Smuckers. There's a couple of different containers. So these are the plastic tubes. We get them really inexpensively, and these are the ones that we like to give out. A lot of the time, the reason why we did it this way, again, it's really easy and simple, and they're really inexpensive. These ones are the glass jars that I use when I'm selling, or if I want to do like a really fancy gift for somebody. it just, it's more luxury, but they're also more expensive to buy this glass. But for my friends, or for people who are investing in the money, I I do still go the extra mile there and get these anyway because they are great and they can be refilled. These can be refilled too, but they're harder to clean because it's plastic. And the thing is, like anything in plastic, we do usually avoid. But again, we made a big bulk amount because it was the holidays and things, and so we ended up with a bunch of these. When I say a bunch, it was a lot. Okay. Yeah, and we just have a few of them left that we're using ourselves. Another one is, eyelashes comes up, right? A lot of people are using eyeliners, mascaras, things like that. I don't do anything like that. I actually haven't worn makeup in years for many reasons. First, I was in the hospitality and tourism industry for over a decade. Okay. Some jobs, they'd make me wear heels. Not for it. My favorite kind of shoe is bare feet. Okay. That is, if I can't be in bare feet, then the best you're getting out of me is like Mary Jane's, or like those, like the flats. Okay, or flip flops, maybe, or, different things like that. I really don't go all out. I had one job where they did force heels on me. I did that temporarily. I was a girl. If I would go out to the bar and party, like sometimes I would invest in good shoes, or I had like a lot of friends that have really good taste in things, and they would just gift me like really high quality gifts. And I remember going out to the bar with my boyfriend at one point in time, like when I was like military wife, uh, at that point in time, and I had these, uh, what were they called? The wedge heels. So I could wear them because they didn't make my ankles go all wobbly, and they were like really hot. I looked really good going out that night. And as soon as I walked in the bar and went to go dance, I was like, no, they came off. I actually gave them away to somebody there, and I danced in bare feet the whole night. Like, that is the type of girl that I am. I really can't do those kinds of things. So when I had the opportunity to also let go of the makeup and wear my hair down and all that, and I became my own boss, I was like, yeah, it's all out the window. I bought a few really natural ones for a little while and experimented with Arbonne, and I had friends that were in there, a lot of single moms like I was, a lot of yeah, entrepreneurial women, homeschooling women were part of our bond. And so I got in that community for a while when I was pregnant, and I experimented with those things. But again, it still wasn't for me. And so what I found that actually did work was just having an eyelash curler every once in a while, every few months or so. I'd say like maybe once a season, I put castor oil on my eyelashes, and that helps lengthen them, strengthen them. It's very nice for your eyes anyway. I don't do it very often though because it feels kind of gooey and sticky and weird. So I really don't do it too often, but what I will do is curl my eyelashes. So I do have an eyelash curler, and it just helps accentuate. This is what makeup was for, right? It was to show your natural beauty, not to cover up who you are, right? Like they call it cover up. There's so much with the English language that's blunt to your face. I, as a woman, want to encourage every other woman, stop covering up who you are. Don't use the cover up. Don't use the concealer. There's nothing to conceal. Okay. You are beautiful. You are so beautiful. So please, please stop covering it up. Allow yourself to be vibrant. Allow your skin to breathe. All right. And so this is one thing that I do. It helps me feel like I've gone that extra mile to do something for myself, to bring out my natural beauty, but also doesn't cover anything up. It accentuates what's already there. Just one simple tool. That's about all I do for makeup. What I do for my skin, this is a reusable bottle. Like what's in here is a mix of different omega-3 oils. So there's olive oil, sunflower oil, flaxseed oil, hemp oil, and a couple other ones that I just put in this jar that was reused. I thought it was pretty. It matched It looks kind of luxury because of the gold, and all was like a reusable bottle of a serum from like not even mine. So, plus it has my initials on it, AM. So I'm like, oh, whatever, that's not going in the garbage. I'll use it for something. And I found that it was great for oils because sometimes you can't spray out the oils. Sometimes if you have a pourer, it makes a mess or you end up wasting product. So this was really good. It squirts it out. So a serum bottle with my own oils in it. And this is what I use for my face and my eyelashes on a daily basis. Another thing that I do before I put on the oil is a probiotic spray that I make because I've suffered with psoriasis for many years, and the one thing that keeps it under control, other than, of course, diet and stress. When I keep my diet and stress under control, it's good. But, you know, another thing that really does help just, on my skin is a probiotic spray. And that is mainly done of essential oils, apple cider vinegar, and water. Very simple. So pretty much what my protocol is when I get out of the shower is I pour the Epsom salts on me, I air dry, I spray the probiotic spray on me on my face, and then I oil my face and I put a body cream or shea butter or coconut oil on my skin. Very, very simple. It's nothing, high tech. And normally if I'm making creams, it's for somebody else that asked me to make creams. I don't often make them for myself. For myself, I use the basic ingredients. Sometimes shea butter I'll mix in a vitamin E oil just to help it go a little bit farther and smooth easier. But coconut oil works great. Okay. Everything that I'm sharing with you, these are easy to access materials. You likely get everything at your grocery store. You don't even need to go to a fancy salon or a fancy like health food store or anything. This will be at a basic place, maybe even a dollar store. It's really cool what you can do with what's available to you. And that's what I'm all about. I started out my journey in poverty. I gave up money when I gave up the hospitality and tourism industry. I gave it up. I was like, I'm getting sober. I took a year off. I had nothing that year. I figured out how to do everything for myself sustainably. But this said, I was always into that. I was also the girl in high school. My friends were going out and getting all the fancy makeup. I was printing. I was one of the only people with computers. My mom was a computer teacher, so she was very into that. And we had a computer at a very young age, and I would print off natural DIY recipes so that my friends didn't have to spend the money. So I was always frugal in that way. But it became even more so. It became that I had to do that I had to go back to those roots, or I had to make the decision to go back to those roots when I became sober, because that also meant I couldn't do my job serving alcohol to anybody in the hospitality and tourism industry. It just would have been too hard. So I gave it up. And then from there, I went to school and I was actually, sorry. From there, I went to a third world country backpacking solo. So again, I was doing everything on my own on the fly. So very minimum very minimum ingredients, and it was what I could travel with in my backpack, which was only 20 liters. So for anybody who knows, who has done this before, it's a pretty small backpack, and that also contained my water and my clothing and everything in that one small space. That way I could walk for long periods. That way I really wanted to be able to trust myself. And so that was one way that I put myself into a situation where I had no choice but to trust myself. I had to trust that the universe was going to provide, and it did. Okay. And from there, I became a single mom. I became a student. So again, it was frugal living. And, now my son's older, my business is doing better. So I'm moving on up and learning to rewrite my money story and things, in such a way, and even help you guys do that for yourselves through my own experience and some of the things we have going on with our ambassador program and things. But it's been definitely a journey. And so I want to tell you that even though I'm making more money, I'm so into these kinds of ways. This is why I have more money to invest into other people, and I can sustain myself for longer and give pro bono things out to you guys, is because of this foundation that I've built here with natural alternatives to daily things that are very easy to access and very easy to create and make and sustain. Okay, so some other things would be deodorant. We do make deodorant. This one's in a plastic, but I'll often my friend made me this one at another one of the maker parties, so it is in a plastic thing. But oftentimes, and when I was making these, I did it in just glass jars that you could rub on. Another thing that works is baking soda, just pure baking soda powder. You can use a makeup brush that you won't be using on your face anymore because there's nothing to cover up, right? So you can use those makeup brushes. Dust your underarms with baking soda. Try to find an aluminum free baking soda. They won't say that on it. They will say it's aluminum free. They won't tell you that it has aluminum in it if, it's Arm& Hammer or something like that. They don't say that, and they also don't, the ones that are good will say this is aluminum free. That's a thing, right? The regulations on body products and makeup and all that, it's very minimum. Even the regulations on supplements, very minimum, right? That's why I'm all about what's the natural way of doing this? What does nature provide? What is actually sustainable, right? And one of the reasons why I'm so passionate in this field. So another thing would be a lime. You can cut up limes. Sometimes you can get them inexpensive on sale, and you use that as a deodorant. You can use lime and baking soda for mosquito bites as well, for poison ivy as well. A lot of benefits to both of those things. I could go on and on about the basics of baking soda and vinegars and limes, but that is for another day, my friends. Okay, so let's go into oral care. So two of my favorite things to do. I mean, my mouth is not the best. I smoked, I did a lot of drugs very young in my life. And so my teeth and my oral care is not all the best. But here's what I will tell you. It gets better. And there are ways to remineralize your teeth. I created a remineralizing toothpaste that me and my girlfriends use. They create their own too. And, we have a lot of fun exchanging it amongst us. I also made a paste. And when I did go in when I was pregnant for cleaning, the dentist that I used was very expensive, which is why I don't do it very often. But she was a natural holistic dentist. And the paste that she was using was with the same ingredients as me. So what I paid her $500+ for, I made at home for like 50 cents. When you think like the ingredients cost money, but when you think about, I got like a container even that size for 50 cents that I could do it by myself for like 6 months. Where I paid her so much more, and those ingredients that I put into the paste, I got to use in so many other products as well. Another thing that I like doing other than the toothpaste is a tooth powder or a tooth oil that's just essential oils. I like switching it up. I do like diversity. I don't like doing the same thing for long periods of time. Maybe it's my ADD nature. Maybe it is just my respect for diversity, knowing that you don't always want to use a toothpaste or a tooth powder, which can, it's great for removing stains and things, but an oil is really good for just washing your mouth out. And another thing that I always go to is just oil pulling. So you can do it with a really good olive oil or coconut oil, and you let the coconut oil melt in your mouth. You just, like a mouthwash, will use it for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, as long as you can hold it in your mouth, and then you spit it in the garbage, not in your sink. It can clog your sink. Spit it in the garbage, and then you brush your teeth, and then you use this, an Ayurveda secret. Oil pulling is Ayurveda secret, but so is this. This is called a tongue cleaner, okay? And this is one's made out of copper, and you pull from the back of your tongue. This is better than any mouthwash. If you do want to make mouthwash, Parsley is a really good one. You just make a tincture out of parsley, great mouthwash. But I find oil pulling and just having one of these tongue cleaners is amazing. And you do want this tongue cleaner over a toothbrush tongue cleaner. This pulls, right? And if you're mixing the oil pulling with this, it is incredible, okay? And my mouth has gotten way better. I have, yeah, removed a lot of stains with the oil pulling. It also stops stains from setting in. This said, I still have work to do in this field, but these tips really do work for making a difference, especially for detoxifying your mouth too, right? When you've been drinking and smoking and using pharmaceuticals and having that dry mouth, what that does to your mouth microbiome is absolutely insane. And your mouth is the first set for your gut, right? So if you're having gut problems, chances are you got to get your mouth health right too. Okay. And then from the gut turns into mental health. And like, so it's all connected, you guys. You are just one symbiotic being here. And we are symbiotic with the microbes. So we want to make sure we're having the good, healthy microbes and reducing the unhealthy ones, okay, that would make us sick, that would cause dis-ease in the body, which then causes dis-ease that can be diagnosed. Oh, wow! Thank you so much. I just got some Morning Glory muffins. We're talking about mouth health. Oh my god, I'm going to take a bite of this right now. It's still warm. I don't want to miss out on the warmth. Oh my god. So good. These great alternatives to um the paper ones. These are silicone muffins. We use this for so many things. For muffins, for chocolates, for energy balls. For when we go out, kids like having their stuff all divided. So if you put a bunch of these into a to-go container, it keeps all their stuff divided. And they can mix whatever they want or not mix whatever they want. Good for salads and all that. So really cool. Oh my god, this muffin's so good. This is amazing. Spoiled. Oh my god. Morning glory muffins. I got everything you need. Carrots, apples, um, seeds, nuts, raisins. Just all together good. I can't even put this down. You guys can't see that, but it's like steaming. It's still warm. I feel like I'd be missing out, but you guys are missing out. So yeah, find the recipe. He does it out of sourdough too, so again, really helping with that gut. Sourdough is a fermented dough. We have a mother culture going consistently, and then we're encouraged to use it and work with it every day in some way. And it's a great way to get the kids eating vegetables or nuts or seeds, everything. And then the whole grains, we use a whole grain dough, and our mother culture is made of whole grain, and also we are adding whole grains into it. So it's really good for fiber, for protein, for a whole bunch of things, and tastes delicious. Mm, God. Thank you. So for hair, right, I would have to wear my hair up in the hospitality tourism industry a lot. Even though I worked behind the bar, I could get away with not having my hair up, but I had this thing where I had to be the best at everything, where if I was working, I worked really, really hard. But then if I partied, I partied really hard too. And I knew that I had a problem with alcohol because I watched my parents go through it. And so I would take whatever shifts that I could. And I would also send servers home whenever I could, which meant that I also had to go on the floor and do both jobs, which I really enjoyed because I have the energy, I have the drive, and and a lot of them wanted to go home anyway. If somebody really wanted to make the money more than me, I would end up becoming friends with them, obviously, and we would work a lot of shifts together. And I'm not even gonna put it down. I'll just eat it. Um, so in saying that, my hair, having it long, things like that, it would break, become brittle, especially in the winter. This is Canada, and so if your hair is dry and you're out in the cold and it freezes, it breaks. All right. So when you're straightening hair and it's drying it out, or you're using a bunch of chemicals in your hair and it's drying it out, a bunch of bad stuff can happen. Using coconut oil in your hair, that's great for keeping it moist. It's also great for kids who get head lice or anything like that. Coconut oil like smothers it out. It's really nice for a scalp massage if you've got psoriasis. It's really nice for keeping it nice and shiny. There's so many other oils. My girlfriend Janelle, Soul Sister, she makes a hair oil too. It smells so good. So that's what I have been using lately. But another thing is I got rid of the heat. Okay, and what I use if I really want to go fancy is these kinds of things. I got a few of them. You know, they're different colors. They're all about the same shape, but different styles and whatever. But these are called uh I don't even know what they're called, but you can find them. And it's really simple. You know, back in the day, I know my mom, they would always do it with linen. My family's Native American, and they would all sit, all sisters, all women together in a circle, and they would use linen to tie into curls. These things are almost the same thing. You just roll it and you wrap it. Okay? And you just leave it. It looks a little funny for a while, but so did the linen. So that's my alternative. Linen's great too. Obviously, then you don't have to spend the money. Another cool thing you can do is when you get out of the shower, you can do braids or twists, and then you put the oil, and then when it comes out, it stays down. As long as you don't brush it and you just use your fingers, it's really, really good for just keeping the natural curl without the frizz. Okay, oil, you always want to start on the bottom, move your way up. You'll get natural oils on your scalp, so keep it down to the bottom where the breakage happens. Um, and another thing is, like, my hair is naturally curly, so to be honest, I don't often use much in my hair other than oftentimes it's even that I use the leftover oil after doing my face just on the tips of my hair to keep it from breaking. And that's about it. But I do have these things for if I want to be fancy, if I'm going somewhere. This is just natural. This is me coming out of the shower and letting it dry, just putting a little oil on the bottoms. This is my hair. This is what I was blessed with. Back in the day, I did not see it as a blessing. I remember being with my girlfriend in high school, and we couldn't afford a hair straightener, so we would team up together and we put a towel down on the floor, and we would lay down on our backs, and one person would brush it, and you'd actually use a clothing iron to get it dead straight. We were nuts. Okay. I do not recommend that. In fact, I say stay away from the heat, and again, own your natural beauty. Once I stopped wearing makeup, and once I started empowering myself to just be myself and to not care anymore, it was the most freeing thing. It freed up my time. It freed up myself to start caring a little bit more about who I actually am. It freed me up to stop caring about what everybody else thinks. And the more I was empowered, the better I felt about my natural looks. And that's what I want for you guys too. Plus, it's more sustainable. Plus, you have more time. You know, even this stuff, it takes time. And I don't do it very often because of that. Oftentimes, I come out of the shower and I just go through my steps with the the Epsom salts, the probiotic spray, and then the oil. I just put whatever leftover oil just on my tips, and I let it dry. And, you know, what I used to think was a curse of my hair being frizzy all the time, now I see is just a blessing. And, you know, I'm very little maintenance. And I do really feel blessed with my looks. You know, there was another part of this too that I think was a big part of it. was I experienced PCOS, I think from childhood, the sexual abuse and things where, I didn't feel safe to be myself. I thought I really had to cover myself up. I started breaking out and things like that too as a mechanism to like essentially just not not be that, not to stand out. I didn't want to be beautiful. My mom's beautiful. My mom's got the most beautiful skin. She's got some of the best hair in the family. She's got this skin tone that is like just incredible because of the Native American skin. Like she's got it all. Very beautiful woman for that. And even though I know that I have that inside of me, I was so scared to let any of that show because I thought that if I stood out like she stood out, that I would also stand out to predators. And I used it as a defense mechanism. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I covered up my natural beauty, why I used cover up on my skin, because I started seeing blemishes because I had this other thing that I needed to heal inside of myself. And so I really want to bring that to you too, not only to the women, but to you men that have wives and girlfriends that need to hear this and need to feel empowered. You can be that light for them. Help them feel safe, help them feel loved, help them feel great inside of their own body. We're all beautiful men, women, children. Like it's incredible. And I think this is where that unity comes in again, where we really have to just be in support of each other and authenticity in itself. So I think we're coming up on time now, so I'm going to do my best to get through a few more things here. I had mentioned lice for children because that happens, especially if your kids are in school or daycare, things like that. It did happen to Finn in daycare. It wasn't my thing to put him in, but I was publishing my book at the time. I really needed the time. I didn't have any family support, so he did spend 6 months in daycare, and he got head lice in that time. And I think it was for the best too, because he boosted his immune system. He came home sick quite a bit, and now he's never sick. I think because of those experiences, he built up his natural immune system being around other kids, and with the lice, I did make a lice spray, and I still keep it when we go around other kids. I use it as a lice prevention spray. So if you get head lice, a good one is coconut oil. You can mix in uh, some tea tree oil with that coconut oil and like really kill off everything. You'll smother it out with the coconut oil, but then the tea tree oil will also help protect your hair. And it's a really strong scent that they really don't like. It's toxic for them. It's really good. And then I do this lice prevention spray. You can find, different recipes online. So just look it up. I also have one. This one's for bug spray. So I do that too, right? And it's very simple ingredients. Again, look it up. I even have my bug spray. Finn would make this stuff with me when he was 2 years old. He got into herbology with me. And we have some short videos on YouTube that get quite a few views still today. So you guys can go over and check that out and see what ingredients we actually use there. And otherwise, you just Google it, Google University, ask, what ingredients do you use in a bug spray or whatever. Some other things I've got here is that I use essential oils for like everything. I like putting them in these rollers, and I also put in some healing crystals. I put in a carrier oil, often almond oil or avocado oil, and then I put in essential oils. And so this one's for skin. So if I do have a blemish or something, it's often because I'm stressed out and I'm not telling the truth to myself or to somebody else. So I put in the crystals are of truth, of vision, of communication, of safety. So this really helps. And then the essential oils themselves are essential oils that help with skin. So if I do have a flare up of psoriasis or I get a blemish, oftentimes I don't get to relieve the pressure of my blemish because psoriasis comes up as an autoimmune response to automatically cover it up, to automatically protect and create a thick skin to protect myself, right? So if I'm feeling endangered, that's when the psoriasis flares up. Give me that thick skin. So if something's stressing me out and I get a blemish, my skin automatically goes into autoimmune response and says, okay, I need to protect you. And then I don't get to relieve the pressure until I calm down my body. So, this is really, really great for just helping me do that. And I make them for Finn when he goes to bed. Sometimes he gets dry like this time of year, so I have one for him to open up his airways. I make them for everyone. One for Anastasia for when she's feeling leg pain. I've made them for friends and family who experience different things. Arthritis and whatever. It's like I make them for those that I care about, and I infuse them with healing crystals as well as essential oils. That's something really cool. For sleep, there's tons of tonic teas, herbs, foods that I can offer you. But as a quick solution, if you do have some money to invest, you can check out this company, Emberine. I also did a box opening for them because they were so generous. They shared with me like hundreds of dollars of their products. And I love every single one of them. I researched all of the ingredients. A lot of them I have in my own apothecary, but the way that they blended it all together and made really easy to use tinctures, I thought was incredible. And so I'm a big advocate. They're going to be getting into the psychedelic realm as soon as things become more legal. So you can watch out for that. But for now, check out what they're doing with mushrooms just on more medicinal level. And this is a really cool one for sleep that you guys can check out. Lots of mushrooms in here, passion flower, some good ingredients. Some other things that you guys may be interested in as a natural alternative. Christmas present from my friend, would be cannabis. I am not smoking cannabis much these days, if at all. I gave it up for the winter. I may start back in the spring. But I guess I've had my ups and downs with cannabis. Sometimes I really like it and sometimes I take a break. Sometimes my break is for a season or weeks. Sometimes it's for years. I went a 4 years without smoking cannabis once too. And, I do often come back to it. It helped my mom get off of opiates. She's a big cannabis activist now, after a decade on pharmaceutical pills and interventions and those fentanyl patches, like really crazy things. Like her story is pretty incredible. And she she got off of everything herself just with the help of this one secret plant. So yeah, mushrooms are amazing, but they're not for everybody. Cannabis, again, amazing, but not for everybody. So it's good. I just want to bring it out here as something, okay? And here's the thing with this plant is that it's not always about smoking it. Sometimes it's about vaping it. Sometimes it's about having it as tea. Sometimes it's about having it as food. If you're eating the leaves, it's so high in antioxidants. If you're in Canada, you get to grow 4 plants. Who cares what plant it is or what strain it is? Just grow it so that you can consume those leaves and get the antioxidants, okay? Another thing you can do is make tinctures out of this stuff. You can yeah, so many things. The CBDs, I know my girlfriend right now, she's gotten CBD isolate, got really into that, and now she's making her own tinctures. Really, really cool stuff, guys. And, that helps her with her menstruation. That helps her with any shoulder pains that she gets from like different things that she's done in the garden where she just pulls something because she wants to work so hard and, be independent. And, she's hurt herself a few times and that's her go-to for pain. It's her go-to when she has menstrual cramps. Really good one. For anybody who's not in to cannabis or who's quitting smoking cannabis or quitting smoking tobacco, there's other smoking and vaping herbs out there. This is a blend that I made that has mullein and mint There's also some lavender just for flavor. Yeah, there's, it's really cool. You can smoke it, you can vape it. You can use this for tea, even for anything. But it's really good idea to find some smoking herbs, which I'll link an article that I did of 30 different smoking herbs, but there are tons, and different ones will give you different types of effects. I like the mullein because it helps clean out the lungs. So as I'm detoxing out any smoke and vape, I'm at the same time giving a detox, and it's really nice. And then mint, of course, opens up those airways too. So really cool. Um, I'll also get into cleaning your clothes. As I said, a big air pollution thing is not exactly like, yeah, air pollution comes from from brake fluid. So if you're living by a stoplight, you're gonna have a lot more air pollution because the brake powder goes up into the air, causes air pollution. There's air pollution from the methanol gases, from the factories, from this, from that, from whatever. So there's like tons of things. But what you can control is the air pollution in your house by getting away from things like Febreze, getting away from the laundry detergents and stuff. And this is a great alternative. So we use dryer balls made out of wool inside of our dryer, and we put essential oils on that to give our clothes like a freshness. We also go for Nellie's makes a really good natural clothes washing detergent, which we do use, but we also always have these soap nuts around because they're incredible and you can keep reusing them. So it seems like a little bag, but you can use, like, you put two of these nuts into a little mesh bag, and you can do it like 5 times, even like 15, 20 times sometimes, until they really stop working and stop getting sudsy. But they give it your clothes the lather it needs to really clean them. And again, you can put essential oils in there to give it the smell, but a natural smell. And lastly, when it comes to natural alternatives, because I am Ashley, to bring to you my new textbook, the Guide to Entheogens. This is a big encyclopedia. This was my investment this year, my homework. I've read a few encyclopedias front to back. I did the one of natural medicine. I read that front to back, cover to cover. I did one on herbs. I did one on foods as well. And I mean, for a while, especially when I was getting sober, I obsessed over certain things. And one of it was like collecting information and reading, and a lot of it had to do with food and natural alternatives. This is going to be by far the biggest that investment that I've made when it comes to my time, my money, because it wasn't cheap either. So yeah, the time it's going to take to read this, as well as the money, the investment. But these are great natural alternatives, okay? These are all the entheogenic herbs. This is the biggest collection of them written. This is all plant medicines. You're not going to hear about Cambo or the Sonoran Desert Toad that gives off DMT. You're not going to hear about those in here, but you are going to find all of the flowers and plants. And it's very, very beautiful. I already did start diving into it, but I've got a ways to go. Okay, this is a big investment. This is going to be the biggest encyclopedia, and I am dedicating myself, committing myself here on camera. Yeah, I did this in the Signal group already, so anybody who's in there already knows that I committed to this. But that's like for accountability, right? And the thing is, there are so many here, and I'm so excited on the second I start starting all of my seeds, the indoor seeds, and some of them are entheogens, and so I get to cross-reference what's being said in this book with some of the stuff I find online, and Yeah, I'm really excited about the whole process. For now, though, I am going to say goodbye to you, beautiful souls. I'm going to finish up my Tulsi tea, these beautiful morning glory muffins that Tristan made me, blow out my candle, and then I'm going to go hang out with my kid because I'm sure he misses me. Even if he doesn't, I miss him. So I'm going to go make the most out of that time I got. I love you all so much. I'll see you next week here. I love you. Yeah, if you got any feedback about this video, what you like, what you don't like, you can let me know in the Signal group, or reach out to me, Ashley at elementalgrowth.org. I love you. Bye.